of the thick of it all. If they don't give me room, well then I'll give them a while. I'm gonna smoke my tires when the victory calls. I'm gonna be there, be there. I wanna see my face up on the jumbo screen. Feel the white hot metal of a winning machine. Because you win or you lose and there's no in between. I wanna be there, be there, be there.
NASCAR on speed. Be there.
It is time to go road course racing in the Target Series as we head to Watkins Glen for the final time in the Target Series for the running of the AAA 225. On the pole for today's race, the 20 of Jake Galloway, beside him in second, the 81 of Jose Mills. Then starting in third, it's the 7 of Justin Zeidel, fourth place for Anthony Hernandez, and rounding out the top 5, Eric Olson in the 66 car. Then in 6th, we have Riley Spurleytube. In 7th, it's Kenny Walrus. 8th place for Colton Yo. In 9th, it's Danny Lloyd. And Matthew Burnett, the 15, rounds out the top 10. Back behind them for the rest of the field, Will Raymond. Beside him, the 07 of Bronson Minnick. Then we have Keyshawn Richardson in the 10 and the 16 of Mathis Wells. Then there's Nolan Lawrence, the 51, and the 92 of Jordan Stout. Then we have Jay Jefferson in second in points, Zachary DeLello. Then the drivers finished top 10 in every race so far this season. Felix Janssen starts middle of the field in 20th, and Luke Rand, the 2, who almost won this race last season, starts beside him. Then there's Jeff Bright, the 1, and the 98 of Jennifer Buford, along with the 4 of Landon Lyons and the 8 of Eli Bright. Then there's Ross McTrain and the 00 of Jonathan Buford, along with Jake Richardson and the 28 of Code Red. Then there's Adam McDowell and the 74 of Jay Brando, along with Samet Oskin and Brennan Sonderland. Then there's Evan Hunter and Marshall Burrell, Levi Shones and DJ Reed, Brandon Beal, Brett Sierra. In the final row, Ronan Curtis and Conrad Evans round out the 40-car starting lineup. There is our 40-car field for racing here at Watkins Glen, the AAA 225. Let's go on trackside to get the command to fire these cars up for road course racing in the Target Series.
Drivers, start your engines.
You only have the front man.
40 engines crank up here at the Watkins Glen International for the AAA 225, 11 laps around this 3.4-mile road course in New York. 2 Toyotas releasing the green flag, Jake Galloway and Jose Mills. Good luck to stay up there. However, strategy going to be a big part of this race. We'll see who can try and play it right to win here at Watkins Glen. 11 laps, as we mentioned, the pace car to pit road. Galloway can determine where to start the race. He's on the gas as the green flag waves in the air. We're underway at Watkins Glen. Mills, a better launch off turn 1, clears Jake Galloway. So Jose Mills moves out to the front on lap number 1 here at Watkins Glen. Galloway back to second in the 20. Up through the S's for the first time today. Mills pulls away as now they come down this long back straightaway. A lot of drafting opportunities for these drivers right here as they race down off into the carousel. They'll skip the bus stop, move into the carousel. This long straightaway produce a lot of passing at the end of it into the carousel. Spurleytube dives low for third on Anthony Hernandez as Galloway looks low on Jose Mills for the race lead. Spurleytube trying to take it off Hernandez, our Daytona winner. Zeidel just behind Spurleytube in the 7 car. As the front 2 try to gap as they're double foul behind. Spurleytube now at the bottom of the boot, will slide wide, take the 11's line away. Riley Spurleytube to third, Zeidel looking for fourth as Galloway tries to pressure Mills into a mistake in the 81. So Mills with a nice jump there on Galloway through turn 1, was able to clear our pulse. And now if Galloway, we'll see if he can try and come back here as we're now going to exit the boot and then back onto what would have been a short chute in the normal circuit for NASCAR. Into the final 2 corners, Jose Mills has pulled a gap off Jake Galloway. And as they enter the final corner, side by side for 4th, Zeidel and Anthony Hernandez. Zeidel gets 4th, Hernandez in 5th. Lap 1 is led by the 81 of Jose Mills, last season's champion, out in front here in Watkins Glen. 1 car down to pit road on lap number 1, and it's the 93 of Ronan Curtis, so issues there to one of the drivers towards the back of the field. Hernandez has had a terrible sequence right here. In 5th place, now loses 2 spots to Eric Olson, along with the 99 of Kenny Walrus. So not a great start to the 11th. Hernandez back to 7th in the 11 car. As the front few get away, Mills, Galloway, Spurley to 1, 2, 3. Fourth place, Zidell. Fifth place, Olsen. Then Walrus is 6th, Hernandez 7th, Yo in 8th, Lloyd in 9th, 10th place, Burnett. Now Burnett wants 9th from Danny Lloyd. They'll move to the inside just behind him. Brunt's making the 07. Then Mathis Wells and Will Graham battle for 12th. There's Jordan Stout just by Nolan Lawrence. Jay Jefferson almost won here last season, was actually leading at the white flag when his car stumbled on fuel, and he was actually the last lead change of that race. Keyshawn Richardson just behind him. Zach DeLello 2nd, and points getting passed by Jennifer Beeford. And there's our points there. Felix Janssen back right now, just where he started in the 20th position. Has finished top 10 in all 4 races so far this season. Moving back up to the front as Galloway's closing in a little bit on Jose Mills. Not a ton, but just a little bit. And the battle for 4th also heating up. Zidell has it, but Eric Olsen, the 66, he is pressuring that 7 car over the bumper. Might be able to make a pass here if he can get a few of these corners set up right. Zidell trying to maintain in the 7 car in 4th position right now. Walrus trying to get up inside the top 5 of the 99. Jose Mills off the final corner cleanly, along with everyone inside the top 10. And some cars behind start to fan out. That's the 2 down to the bottom. That's Luke Rainey looking out, Felix Janssen for 20th. And Rainey will get, well, they're 3 wide to turn 1. Janssen in the middle. Rainey had to lift in the 2. And the biggest winner, Landon Lyons, gets 2 spots up to 20th in the 4. A great sequence for Landon Lyons right there. He was 3 wide topside. That actually hurt Luke Rainey the most. He could not clear by the time they got to turn 1. When you're on the bottom of turn 1, it really does not help you out at all. Now he's side by side with Eli Bright, and here comes the doubles here, Jonathan Beeford. Jeff Bright, Ross McTrin, and Code Red as well, along with the 74 of Jay Brando. They have Jake Richardson, Levi Shones, and Brendan Sarland, as track position means so much at these road courses, and we see it time after time. If you start inside the top 10, you have a pretty good shot at finishing inside the top 10, but also all comes down to what strategy you use to try and win this race. For second, Spurley turns inside of Jake Galloway. That 22 handling pretty well right now, as he and Galloway go side by side in the boot section. Now can he complete it? Back behind them, Eric Olsen is all but clear. The 7 of Zidell. Tried to push him wide, but Zidell hanging tough. Sprint going to try and hang tough with Galloway as well. But Jake able to clear it, keep that spot. Zidell trying to keep it off of Olsen. As those two still battle for 4th. The battle for seconds calmed down. Galloway keeps off Riley, but I think Sprint a little bit faster at this stage of the race. Kenny Walrus to the outside of Eric Olsen. The 66 had to lift there. Couldn't get back in the gas, and Walrus through to 5th. Oh, we got one in the wall and spinning. Off the final corner, the yellow flag will come out. Now, I don't think the leaders took it. Still race back around, but a huge crash. And second and points involved, and it's a parking lot off of the final corner at Watkins Glen. Jeff Bright sitting backwards. Brendan Sarland was stopped. DJ Reed has rear end damage. Jeff still getting hit by Brennan. And they're still wrecking. The 12 is just wrecked. And he got hit hard by Evan Hunter. What in the world? The 1 and the 36 were still going at it there. Coming around Ronan Curtis. So the yellow is out. These drivers, our race leaders, are coming back around to take the yellow. As it's Jose Mills going to try and lead the way. He's led every lap so far. Starts second past Galloway, turn 1 for the race lead. Crazy sequence here at Watkins Glen will bring a halt to the action around the midpoint. It looked like it was a very hard crash, and I believe we're going to have some retirees from this one. And Jeff Bright looks low in the 1, so obviously the damage there pretty severe. About for 4th, Kenny Walrus trying to close in, as Eric Olsen has lost another spot to the 11 of Anthony Hernandez. So move Anthony back up to 6th. It looks like Mills going to cruise around here to the yellow flag. So coming back around. Yellow on lap number 5 is when the leaders will take it. Jose Mills out in front over Jake Galloway, Bradley Sprue to Justin Zidell and Kenny Walrus. That is the front 5. Mills takes the caution flag in the 81. He's led every lap so far here in the AAA 225. Let's see what happened. A crash off of the final corner. Second in points, Zachary DeLello. His day cut short in the 35. Racing just inside the top 20. Here is the reason for the first caution flag here at Watkins Glen. Off into the final corner, Nolan Lawrence and Zachary DeLello going to go side by side. DeLello runs into the 51 and hard hit for the 51 of Nolan Lawrence into the outside safer barrier. Now they're in the middle of the racetrack. Some cars get low to get by. The first car into that 51. The one actually hits the 35. Then Luke Rainey hits the 51. The 00 hits him. And then they're stacking up. Jake Richardson, Brendan Sarland, Jay Rando. You see Ross McTrain. Levi Shones gets hit. The 52 and 89 are sitting over there. The 90, the 12, the 9, the 18. So many cars had to take evasive action, but some were not able to do it in time. Oh, what a hard hit for Nolan Lawrence, but I mean, look at this. That 35 stopped there. Jeff Bright hits him, and then up ahead, Luke Rainey and Jonathan Buford are going to hit that 51, and they both did. I just can't believe that happened, you know, that they hit Nolan Lawrence, even though, you know, he was sitting there for so long. Let's look at this. Into that final corner. Watch the hit. Oh. Watch this. We're going to keep the camera here because a lot happens. Luke Rainey right into the 51. He tried to check up at the last second but couldn't. And think about Luke. He's been involved in a yellow flag in every single race so far this season. It may have gone well at Texas World for him, but he was still involved in a spin. And then right here, they're starting to get going. Adam McDowell is going to get turned by DJ Reed. And then Evan Hunter just falling the gas and just runs right into the 12 of Adam McDowell, putting the 23 out of this race. So craziness under the first yellow here at Watkins Glen. But now this produces an interesting scenario. They're going to come around to pit lane at the conclusion of lap 5. That is before the midway point. These drivers, these teams, are going to want to put in the least amount of fuel as possible into these race cars. So, you want to make the pit stop as fast as you can because track position means everything. So if you come in now, you might not be able to make it on fuel. And if you do come in now, you might try and hope you can try and stretch it, and or a yellow comes out to end the race while you're still out there with the race lead. So this is going to be interesting to see what the teams do right here as they're coming around to pit entrance. Pit road will be open this time by, and we'll just have to see who does what here. Do they come in? Do they stay out? Or is it going to be a mixed bag of strategy? Let's see. The leaders are staying out. Does anyone dare try and gamble to make it here? Or to try and do something different? So far, no one taken the chance to come into pit road. And it looks like no one is going to do it. So everyone thinking they wouldn't be able to make it from there, they're going to stay out. Jose Mills with the race lead in the AAA 225 at the Watkins Glen International Speedway. Green flag right here, lap number 7 when we take it. Jose Mills has led every lap so far out in front. Nolan Lawrence, Zachary DeLello, Jonathan Buford, Evan Hunter, Adam McDowell, all out from that crash. Jeff Bright, Luke Rainey, and others that are damaged at the back of the field got their damage repaired on pit road. So Jose Mills leads it, Jake Gow in second, then Riley Spurgeon, Justin Seidel, Kenny Walrus. That's the front 5. We're back green at Watkins Glen, a very spread out restart right there. And look at them take evasive action to the bottom for Bronson Minnick and Danny Lloyd trying to block it. It's off into turn 1. Burnett had to lift, but Lloyd had to lift off the corner. Hard racing off into the S's. The first side-by-side battle, Bronson Minnick and Mathis Wells. Minnick falling back as Wells gets a nice run off turn 1 and up through the S's. Wells gets the spot for the 07. And we'll see down this backstretch if everyone can get some trapped and move out. The front of the field very spread out. Don't know if they'll be able to do that. First move might be Eric Olson on Anthony Ness if he has enough of a run. Wasn't close enough though to make it work. He had a little bit of a run, just wasn't there. Battle for third. Seidel's there on Riley. Riley had been up there battling with Jake for a second, but this is yellow. Obviously affected some with the 22, but now you have to think about pit stops. They're gonna pit at some point. When do you do it? Do you do it now? Do you come in now? Do you do it in a few laps? Do you try and stretch it until we get to the point of no return to maybe you get a yellow flag? Who knows what might happen? Side by side for third. Spurgeon trying to keep it. Seidel trying to take it. Spurgeon keeps it for now. Danny Lloyd back there in a battle. Trying to get underneath Matthew Burnett. Mathis Wells trying to get to 10th off the 21. Behind them, Bronson Minnick and Jordan Stout side by side with Jay Jefferson. Felix Jansen moving up as he just passed Jennifer Buford and Landon Lyons, moving Jansen up to 17th. Start 20th, remember. So does anyone dare pit this time by? We're going to find out. No one in the leaders gonna pit. No one at all pitting. Let's look at this. Evasive maneuvers back behind. And these drivers are starting to fan out, trying to get whatever spots they can. Jansen, the points leader, right now running in a solid 17th as his nearest points competitor is out of the race. Battle for 4th. Zidell under fire from Kenny Walrus in the 99. That 99's gonna be a nice run here down the straightaway. Might try and pull out by the time they get to the carousel. He's looking in the draft of the 7. Does he make a move into the carousel? He'll stay right with Zidell. Surprised he wasn't able to make a move right there. Saw back behind Eric Olsen, gained a lot of time on the 11 of Hernandez using that draft down the straightaway. Danny Lloyd still 10th, but Mathis Wells not letting the 21 get too far away from him. Back behind them, Felix Jansen trying to get up by Will Graymont. He just passed Keyshawn Richardson. Jansen looking for 15th on the 42. It's unbelievable how Jansen has been able to get by a few of these guys here, and looks like he has a pretty decent car, and we'll see if he can end it out inside the top 15 or so. Coming around to 3 to go this time by. It's been all Jose Mills here today. He's led every single lap from 2nd starting position. Leopoldo Galway's been right behind him in 2nd this whole race, but has not been able to make a move to get by for the race lead quite yet. Mills into the final corner with the lead. Galloway right behind in 2nd. Mills will pit this time by. Jake Galloway, hoping to catch a yellow, stays out. Not many came in right here. Mills and Spurley are lone souls on pit road. They'll also bring DJ Reed down. Only 3 cars pit with 3 to go. Did that yellow somehow increase the chances of someone possibly saving the fuel to go the distance? If you did pit there, you're going to have to pit with 2 to go. At that rate, why not try to save some fuel and maybe catch a yellow at this stage? If a yellow comes out, you can then try and save fuel to the end. 4th, Walrus trying to dive on Zidell. The 7 blocks it for now, but goes wide through the carousel. 9 maybe give it a bump. Walrus trying to stay there on the 7. The 7 trying to keep it. Zidell does keep the spot off of the 99 of Walrus. Meanwhile, off pit road, the 22 and the 81 come off basically the same distance they were before. Maybe the 22 a tick faster on pit road. So now what do the leaders do? Does anyone try and stretch it further to try and catch a yellow, or make it the whole 11 laps on fuel? Still for 2nd, Walrus is side by side with Zidell in the 7. The 7's still going to keep it for now, as Walrus had the outside lane through that corner. Now, as they come around to pit road, 2 to go at the stripe. Jake Galloway, the pole zero, leads, but does he come down pit road? Does anyone stay out? This is going to be interesting. Jake's going to come in this time. Race leaders are coming in. Matthew Burnett, a late move to pit road. 98 missed it. Jennifer Buford missed pit entry. The 13 missed pit entry. They're going to have to go around another lap. Buford takes the lead. 13 of Oskin with them, but they did not want to stay out. 2 to go. But if a yellow comes out, they might be smart. So Galloway into his pit stall. Can he and the rest of the drivers try and beat the 81 and the 22? Here they come down the front stretch to turn 1. Spurgeon and Mills. Where is Jake Galloway in all this? Here he is leaving pit road now. Mills and Spurgeon get around. Riley's actually going to leapfrog the 20. All right, so now Spurgeon's going to be cycled out in 2nd. How does this work out for Riley Spurgeon? Can he try and close in on Jose Mills? Can last season's champion do it? White flag this next time by. We're focusing on these 2. However, there are still 2 cars that have not yet pitted. Jennifer Buford and Matt Oskin, we think, missed pit road. That's what it looked like. So they're probably due in this lap at the white flag. But at this rate, if you miss pit road, do you think you just maybe go for it at this stage of the race? You have nothing to lose. We're going to see Jennifer Buford come around to the white flag, and we assume she and the 13 of Oskin will come in for the field to make it to the end. So here's Jennifer Buford white flag is going to be displayed to a driver on pit road. Buford, there she is. She's in. So she hits pit road. Oskin with her. The white flag is in the air. Buford will cross the start-finish line on pit road to take the white. However, the race leader of Jose Mills is full speed into the final corner and will definitely very easily get by those two on pit road. Mills takes the white flag in the 81. One last time around Watkins Glen. 3.4 miles to go. And Riley could not stay with Mills. That 81 has just been so strong here today. Unless something catastrophic happens on this last lap, Jose Mills is going to win this race. We did see last season in this race, though, Eli Bright had a mechanical issue. It wasn't anywhere near the front. He was back in the 30s. However, Eli Bright had a mechanical issue in the final lap, in the boot, which caused a crash involving Rowan Fenway. So if Mills' car doesn't hold together, Riley Spiritu can be there to pounce. Riley did gain a little bit down the straightaway, but out for third. Zeidel's there on Galloway. Side by side for third. Can Zeidel do anything with Jake? It's so hard to do it. We'll see if he can try anything in this boot section. They get side by side. Zeidel trying to clear Jake. Galloway trying to keep that third spot. Zeidel has it cleared for P3. But that is behind the front two of Jose Mills and Riley Spiritu. Final time. Out of the boot. Mills has been in control the whole race. Started second, but got around Jake Galloway as he went outside of turn one. Able to keep in the gas more than Jake. He started second. He's led all but just a few laps. Off of the final corner, Jose Mills comes to the checkered flag. Last season's champion scores a victory in Watkins Glen. Riley Spiritu, Justin Zeidel, Jake Galloway, and Kenny Walrus complete the top 5 finishers. And what was a near perfect day for Jose Mills. Basically, it was a perfect day. Led the most laps and won the race. Last season's champion has gotten it done. Let's go see the finish results and the updated point standings. Here's how they finished in the AAA 225 at the Watkins Glen International. 1 caution flag today for 2 laps, and 3 lead changes. 3 different drivers saw the lead in Watkins Glen. The one who reigned supreme, Jose Mills, started second but passed Galloway in turn 1 on the outside on the first lap. Never looked back. He led 8 of the 11 laps. The only 3 he did not lead were due to pit cycles. Riley Spiritu tried to chase him down at the end, ends up in second. A good points day for Riley for sure. Justin Zeidel finishes right where he started in third. Jake Galloway from pole got to lead 2 laps during pit cycles, but ends up in fourth. And Kenny Walrus, the 99, rounds out the top 5. Then Anthony Nez, Colton Yo, Eric Olson, Bronson Mick, and Jay Jefferson complete the top 10 finishers. Good rebound for Jefferson. Started back in 18th, but gets a top 10 out of this day. So great run for Jefferson there up through the field. Same can be said for Felix Janssen, our points leader. Started back in 20th midfield, got to finish inside the top 15 and 14th. Jennifer Buford led a lap under pit cycles, ends up in 16th. She actually missed pit road, that's why she led that lap. DJ Reed had some damage, but got 17th out of the day in the 18. And down here, Jay Brando, Conrad Evans, Eli Bright, just below the top 20. Brett Ciro, nice recovery along with Brandon Beal. They both started on the second to last row. Conrad Evans started on the last row. Some drivers that were off the pace due to damage, like, Levi Shones, Luke Rainey, Code Red, Jeff Bright, obviously Brendan Sarland, Ronan Curtis had issues in the 93 all throughout the day. And then cars out, McDowell, Hunter, Buford, DeLello, and Lawrence. Let's now go see the point standings after Watkins Glen. Here are the points. 5 races in. The top 10 streak broken for Felix Janssen. However, he still keeps the points and extends it, so I'm sure he's not too mad about not finishing top 10. Colton Hill moves up to second. Anthony is third. Danny Lloyd and Justin Zeidel complete the top 5. DeLello, after the crash, falls down to 6th. Evan Hunter falls down to 7th. Shones down to 8th. Eli Bright 9th. And Jose Mills, the win, bumps him up to 10th in the points. Right now, 4 of our 5 winners of the season up inside the top 12 in points, with Hernandez in 3rd, Eli Bright, Jose Mills 9th and 10th, and Keyshawn Richardson right now one of our wildcard spots as he's currently 12th in the point standings. Landon Lyons would be the other wildcard spot as of now, as he's 11th in the points. Our other winner, Smet Oskin, right now in 21st, just 9 points behind the top 20. Obviously, top 20 in points, that's where you use your wins for wildcard spots. And down at the bottom, these two drivers, Jay Reno, Luke Rainey, have had dismal starts to the season. And think about Luke after finishing runner-up in the championship last season. You have to think that maybe there's some sort of slump associated with that. Jay Reno, Jennifer Buford, I mean, these are drivers that you would expect to run very, very well week in, week out. And for Luke, it's just been a disaster out there the season with crashes. Same with Jay Rando and Jennifer Buford. So 5 races in, and I mean, it's not like you're making your bet at this point, but you're getting a better idea of what you're going to have to do to try and make the postseason. As we look forward to the next race, it's going to be another crazy one as we head to Hillside for the Exalta 300. I will see you guys then.